After a week of silence, the halls of Parliament echo once more with anticipation. The air is thick with expectation, as if the very walls are waiting for voices to fill the void left by days of protest and inaction. India's Parliament is ready to debate again. Lawmakers from across the country return to their seats, determined to reclaim the space for dialogue and decision-making. The national flag flutters above, a symbol of the democracy that binds them all together. The monsoon session's first week was lost to protests, with heated arguments and walkouts dominating the headlines. The nation watched as its representatives clashed, unable to move forward on critical issues. But now, a rare consensus has emerged. Both government and opposition have agreed to a special discussion on national security, a topic that transcends party politics and demands collective attention. The focus is clear: the recent Pahalgam terror attack and the swift military response, codenamed Operation Sindoor. These events have shaken the nation and brought security concerns to the forefront of public consciousness. This debate is a test for both sides. Can the government defend its actions? And can the opposition ask the tough questions? The chamber is set for a rigorous exchange, where every claim will be challenged and every answer scrutinized. For citizens, it's a rare chance to see leaders address the nation's most pressing security concerns. Across living rooms and public spaces, people tune in, hoping for clarity and reassurance in uncertain times. National security isn't about party lines. It's about the safety of every Indian, from the bustling cities to the quietest villages. It's a responsibility that unites the country, reminding us that some issues demand unity above all else. The Pahalgam attack was a stark reminder of the threats we face. It exposed vulnerabilities and tested the resolve of our security forces, who responded with courage and determination. Operation Sindoor, the military response, will be scrutinized for its effectiveness and future implications. Lawmakers will examine not just what was done, but what must be done to prevent such tragedies in the future. Experts and analysts across the country are weighing in, offering perspectives on intelligence, preparedness, and the broader geopolitical context. The debate in Parliament is mirrored by a national conversation outside its walls. Parliament is the right place for this conversation, where every word is on record and every statement can be held to account. Here, the nation's representatives must rise above rhetoric and deliver substance. 16 hours have been set aside for this debate, promising a thorough examination. Each minute is precious, offering a chance to probe, to question, and to seek solutions. The shouting has stopped. Now real arguments will begin. The mood is serious, the stakes high, and the responsibility immense. This is democracy in action, not the absence of disagreement, but the ability to debate it. The world is watching how India's leaders confront crisis and disagreement with dialogue, not division. The nation is watching, hoping for answers and unity. In every corner of the country, people are invested in the outcome, aware that these debates shape the future. The silence is over. It's time for Parliament to speak, and for the nation to listen, as its leaders confront the challenges that define our times. The road to this crucial debate was anything but smooth. What unfolded inside the hallowed halls of Parliament was a test of patience, strategy, and the very spirit of Indian democracy. The first week of the session was a complete washout. Protests replaced progress, and the usual hum of debate was drowned out by slogans and walkouts. The atmosphere was tense, with lawmakers on both sides visibly frustrated as the business of the House ground to a halt. The opposition, united under the India bloc, stood firm. Their demands were clear: an urgent debate on national security concerns and a thorough discussion on alleged irregularities in Bihar's electoral rolls. For them, these were issues that struck at the heart of democracy and public trust. The government, however, insisted it was ready to discuss security, but maintained that electoral rolls fell strictly under the Election Commission's purview. This technicality became a sticking point, with ministers arguing that Parliament could not overstep constitutional boundaries. The result was a standoff that led to a week of disruption and mounting frustration. The nation watched as its representatives seemed unable to find common ground, and the legislative agenda stalled. The breakthrough finally came after Speaker Om Birla called an all-party meeting. It was a rare moment of unity, as leaders from across the political spectrum gathered around the same table, determined to break the impasse. Behind closed doors, tempers cooled and perspectives shifted. Leaders realized that a continued deadlock would not only damage their own credibility, but also erode public faith in the institution of Parliament itself. Out of these intense discussions, a compromise emerged, A structured debate on national security would be held, and in return, the opposition agreed to suspend their protests, at least for now. The Bihar electoral roll issue was set aside temporarily, a significant concession by the opposition, who made it clear they would revisit the matter in the future. This deal was a classic example of the art of political compromise. Neither side got everything they wanted, but both secured enough to move forward. It was a reminder that progress in a democracy often comes not from total victory, but from mutual understanding and give and take. The deadlock ended not with a clear winner, but with dialogue and a willingness to listen. It was a small but significant victory for the democratic process. As Parliament's work resumed, it became clear that even in the midst of conflict, democracy can find a way forward, through conversation, compromise, and respect for differing views. The lesson is simple yet profound. Progress requires both sides to talk, not just shout. Only then can real solutions emerge. Now, as the nation awaits the debate that almost didn't happen, all eyes are on Parliament to see if this spirit of dialogue can endure. The upcoming debate in Parliament is set to be one of the most closely watched events in recent memory, drawing attention from every corner of the nation. On this stage, India's most influential political voices will come together, representing a spectrum of ideologies and priorities. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is expected to open for the government, setting the tone for the ruling party's stance. He'll be joined by Home Minister Amit Shah, whose words often carry significant weight, and possibly External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who brings a global perspective to the discussion. Their focus will be on India's security strategy, counter-terrorism efforts, and the international dimensions of the current crisis, ensuring that both domestic and global concerns are addressed. There is also anticipation that Prime Minister Modi may address Parliament directly. His speech would aim to reassure the nation, outline his vision for the path ahead, and demonstrate leadership at a critical juncture. On the other side, the opposition, led by Rahul Gandhi in the Lok Sabha, will challenge the government's narrative, raising tough questions and demanding transparency. Rahul Gandhi will be joined by leaders like Akhilesh Yadav and Rajiv Rai, who are expected to press for accountability, propose alternative solutions, and ensure that the voices of the people are heard in the highest forum. In the Rajya Sabha, the upper house, Mallikarjun Kharge and Derek O'Brien will lead the opposition's charge, bringing their own experience and perspectives to the debate. The government's defense in the upper house will be handled by J.P. Nadda and Sanjay Jha, who will respond to criticism and defend the administration's policies. With such a formidable lineup on both sides, the debate promises to be comprehensive, high stakes, and deeply consequential for the country's future. Every angle will be explored, from intelligence briefings and security assessments to diplomatic strategies and the broader implications for India's role on the world stage. The nation will witness its leaders tested on the biggest stage, as they debate, defend, and challenge each other in front of millions. The outcome of this debate could shape public trust in both the government and the opposition, influencing how citizens view their leaders and the direction of the country. As the nation watches, all eyes are on Parliament, waiting to see who will rise to the occasion and what path India will choose next. At the heart of the debate are two events, the Pahalgam terror attack and Operation Sindoor. The April attack in Pahalgam, a tourist hub in Kashmir, was a brutal reminder of ongoing threats. The resistance front, believed to be a Lashkar-e-Taiba front, claimed responsibility. In response, Indian forces launched Operation Sindoor, a major counter-terror effort. The operation's details are classified, but it signals a determined crackdown on terror networks. The opposition will question intelligence lapses and policy effectiveness. The government will highlight Operation Sindoor as proof of its resolve. This debate is a clash of narratives, failure versus success, both rooted in the same tragedy. The government's message will be one of strength and control. Operation Sindoor will be showcased as a proactive, decisive blow against terrorism. Ministers will cite data, terrorists neutralized, weapons seized, to prove effectiveness. They'll argue that their tough policies have weakened terror networks even if threats remain. Diplomatic wins, like the US designating TRF as a terrorist group, will be highlighted as international validation. The government will urge unity and confidence in its strategy. Prime Minister Modi may deliver a morale-boosting speech emphasizing resilience. The goal turns scrutiny into a showcase of strength at home and abroad. The opposition will act as Parliament's watchdog, pressing the government on the Pahalgam attack. Their main question: if security is so strong, how did the attack happen? They'll demand answers on intelligence failures and question the effectiveness of the government's Kashmir policy. The opposition will argue for a more nuanced approach, beyond military action, calling for political dialogue. They'll also raise concerns about transparency, especially regarding claims of foreign mediation. Their aim: hold the government accountable and expose any gaps in its security narrative. The debate isn't just domestic. The international angle is crucial. The Resistance Front, linked to Lashkar-e-Taiba, is now officially designated a terrorist group by the US. This is a diplomatic win for India, validating years of effort to expose cross-border terror. Pakistan denies any link, sticking to its usual script. The government will use the US move to bolster its case. The opposition may question if enough is being done to isolate Pakistan globally. The discussion will highlight the ongoing diplomatic battle alongside the military one. Parliament will debate not just security, but India's place in the world fight against terror. The compromise that enabled the security debate left one issue unresolved: Bihar's electoral rolls. The opposition alleges voter list manipulation, calling it a threat to democracy. The government insists this is the Election Commission's domain, not Parliament's. For now, the issue is set aside, but tensions remain. The opposition hasn't abandoned its demand. The debate could resurface. This episode shows how parliamentary deals are often incomplete. The truce is fragile, and the shadow of Bihar still looms. This debate is more than politics. It's democracy in action. After a week of gridlock, Parliament is back to doing its job, holding the government accountable. National security debates ensure transparency, oversight, and public understanding. These discussions inform citizens and build consensus in times of crisis. Open debate moves the conversation from rumor to public record. Dialogue, not silence, is democracy's lifeblood. This moment is a test of India's democratic strength. The nation watches, hoping for answers and unity in the face of challenge.